I sat cross-legged on the cold hardwood floor of my parents' Portland living room, Christmas lights blinking above me like they didn't see what I saw. The air smelled like plastic pine and favoritism. My sister Madeline laughed as she twirled a set of BMW keys, spinning like a teenager instead of a woman in her 30s. The keys caught the light, and everyone watched her. Everyone but me. My father Richard smiled with open pride, while my mother Evelyn clasped her hands as if witnessing something holy. Outside, a white BMW sat in the driveway with a massive red bow. I looked down at my own gift, a plastic piggy bank shaped like a cartoon I hadn't liked since childhood. The price tag still read $1.99. When Evelyn told me to open it, $2 bills slid into my hand. "Your future home fund," Richard said lightly, calling me irresponsible and winking at Madeline. The room went quiet until Evelyn explained that Madeline needed reliable transportation for her new clients. I nodded, swallowing the sting of injustice I'd learned to live with. They saw my discipline as convenience, my silence as permission. But sitting there, holding $2 and a fake smile, something shifted. They thought I'd accept this like I always did. They had no idea this was the moment I started keeping score. "People like that expect a certain image," Madeline said as she dropped beside me on the couch. Her expensive perfume flooded my senses while she smiled like she was doing me a favor. She patted my knee gently. "Don't worry, I can drive you whenever you need. That little Toyota of yours must be barely holding on." I nodded, jaw tight, thinking about the Toyota that had crossed 7 hours of mountain roads just yesterday. The Toyota I paid off alone. The Toyota that never betrayed me, unlike the people in this room. In a single breath, 34 years stacked themselves neatly in my mind. This wasn't an isolated moment. It was a pattern. That very morning, I had placed their gifts under the tree with care and pride, a leather briefcase for Richard that cost 2 weeks of my salary, a silver bracelet Evelyn had admired through a boutique window, and a professional camera lens Madeline had casually said she might want someday. Each gift bought by sacrificing something of my own, paycheck by paycheck. I gave because I was trained to earn love through effort. The entire drive from Seattle, I'd practiced my words. Senior structural engineer. A promotion earned through nights without sleep and weekends spent designing buildings meant to last generations. I imagined their pride, their surprise, finally seeing me as more than the responsible one. But as I placed the piggy bank on the coffee table and felt my hands shake, a quiet truth settled in. If I wanted to be seen, I would have to change the rules of this family. The house was silent as I carried my suitcase down the stairs. I held my key for a second before setting it on the counter beside the coffee maker scheduled to brew in 3 hours. They had already made their choice. This was mine. Streetlights smeared into watery halos as I drove away, the clock glowing 3:42 a.m. on Christmas morning. Snow thickened, the radio crooned about a white Christmas, and I turned it off. "Mary," I whispered to the empty seat, the word tasting bitter. My Toyota rattled softly through Portland's outskirts, heater fighting the cold. 7 years old. 200,000 miles. It carried me through college, first jobs, promotions, nights when no one clapped for me. It never asked for praise. Unlike the BMW with the red bow, my car earned its place in my life. That difference mattered more than they'd ever understand. At 6, my phone buzzed. Evelyn's name lit the screen. Not concern. Not regret. Just a reminder to pay the electric bill for the cabin, their getaway that Madeline used for photos. I laughed, sharp and quiet. In that moment, I stopped being the reliable one. I became the woman who would quietly rebalance every debt they never knew they owed. A semi-truck roared past, blasting slush across my windshield. For 3 blind seconds, I gripped the wheel and prayed as the wipers fought back. My hands trembled, and so did my memories. My 5th birthday flashed first, Madeline's princess party the year before, complete with ponies, hired decorators, and a towering castle cake. 30 kids, party favors, applause. My turn came with a grocery store sheet cake, 2 classmates, and decorations from a discount bin. When I asked why, Richard had shrugged. "She needs stimulation." You're more independent. Independent, his favorite excuse. The word followed me everywhere. High school graduation. Valedictorian. I scanned the crowd from the podium and saw empty seats where my family should have been. Madeline's soccer game mattered more. Evelyn promised they'd watch the recording. The tape sat untouched until I left for college. She needs encouragement, Evelyn said. Translation, I didn't. I always managed. I always would. Alone. As highway signs ticked down toward California, college memories slammed in next. 25 work hours a week. Maximum course loads. Scholarships stretched thin. No safety net, no backup plan. I built myself piece by piece because no one else ever did. And somewhere between the snow and the miles, I realized this wasn't survival anymore. It was preparation. While Madeline chased artistic inspiration across Europe on our parents' money, Richard told me over the phone, "Your sister needs to find herself." He said it gently, like wisdom. "You've always known who you are." I let his call ring this time, the words finally decoded. "You don't deserve detours. You don't deserve discovery." Dawn began to bleed into the sky, headlights turning into gold streaks through my tears. I pulled over, hazards flashing, and pressed my forehead to the wheel as the truth snapped into place. It was a system. Richard controlled the money, rewarding Madeline and starving me quietly. Evelyn handled the emotions, teaching me that wanting anything was selfish. Together, they perfected it. One parent funded favoritism. The other enforced guilt. I wasn't overlooked, I was managed. Reduced. Kept useful. When my phone rang again, it wasn't them. It was Monica Perez, her voice steady and real through the Bluetooth. I told her I was heading south, though I didn't know why. "Come to San Francisco," Monica said without hesitation. "Stay with me. Family doesn't do this." She knew. She'd seen the packages in college, mine filled with necessities, Madeline's stuffed with designer labels. As I pulled back onto the road, something hardened inside me. I wasn't running anymore. I was repositioning. I thought about the holidays I spent alone in dorm rooms because flights were too expensive, the same years Richard and Evelyn flew Madeline to Aspen and Maui. I started to protest, but Monica cut me off. "Stop. You've spent your whole life being the helper. Let someone help you for once." The word help cracked something open inside me. It had never been meant for me. In my family, support flowed one way, toward Madeline, toward my parents. Never back. "Okay," I whispered, startling myself. "Text me every hour. Drive safe." "I'm setting up the guest room," Monica said before hanging up. I merged back onto the highway as fresh snow streaked away under the wipers. For the first time since leaving Portland, my shoulders dropped from their permanent brace. At 7:30 a.m., I crossed into California. The welcome sign glowed in the morning light. My phone showed 17 missed calls and dozens of messages. Calmly, deliberately, I silenced Evelyn, Richard, and Madeline. The quiet was heavier than guilt. My stomach growled, I hadn't eaten since Christmas Eve. A small roadside diner appeared, its neon open sign cutting through the cold. Inside, warmth wrapped around me, coffee and breakfast filling the air. As I slid into a booth, I understood something crucial. This wasn't just rest. This was the first move in taking my power back, slow, quiet, and entirely on my terms. An older waitress with silver-streaked hair stopped at my table and poured coffee without asking. Her name tag read Gloria. "Rough night," she said gently. "Rough life," I muttered, instantly regretting the drama. Gloria didn't blink. "Honey, I've served coffee for 40 years. I know heartbreak when I see it." When she asked if it was family or a man, I answered honestly. "Family." She nodded, slid the menu closer, and rested her hand over mine. "Blood makes you related. Love and respect make you family." The words settled deeper than the coffee's warmth. They echoed for days. For 34 years, I'd been related to the Collins family, but I'd never truly belonged. 3 weeks later, settled into Monica's guest room in San Francisco, I finally understood the difference. Laughter filled the apartment. No scorekeeping. No conditions. Just space to exist. And yet, my phone wouldn't stop vibrating on the nightstand, dragging the past back into the room. Richard's name flashed again. I counted to 10 and silenced it, adding another voicemail to the pile I refused to hear. Week 1 had been confusion. Week 2, concern. Now, week 3 carried a sharper edge, control disguised as care. Guilt wrapped in authority. My full name appeared in the latest message, heavy and deliberate. They were changing tactics. And for the first time, I smiled, because I finally saw the game clearly. Richard's latest voicemail blasted through the speaker when I finally checked. If you don't return this car immediately, I'll report it stolen. This childish behavior has gone on long enough. The Toyota. My Toyota, the one with my name on the title, 7 years of paid-off receipts. I crushed a throw pillow against my stomach, swallowing the acid rising in my throat. Evelyn's message followed. The doctor says your blood pressure is dangerously high because of the stress you're causing. Is that what you want? Me in the hospital because you're being selfish? I deleted them both, though my finger lingered over the screen longer than I'd admit. Monica's spare bedroom, my temporary sanctuary, felt both alien and comforting. Soft terracotta walls caught the morning light, warming the space in ways my Seattle apartment never did. On the dresser, my laptop glowed with an email I'd rewritten 14 times. Dear Mr. Sanderson. I clicked send before second-guessing. No favors, no family pull, just my work record, my reputation, my skill. 3 hours later, approval landed in my inbox. Just like that, a door opened I had always deserved. You got it? Monica asked, appearing in the doorway. I exhaled, a grin spreading. For the first time, the path ahead was entirely mine. Her dark curls framed Monica's face, eyes shining with pure joy for me. The feeling was strange, someone celebrating my achievements without twisting them into praise for themselves. I start Monday, I said, trying to anchor myself. Monica grinned. Already called Andrea from book club. She manages apartments in the Mission District. Rent control. Safe building. 20-minute walk to your office. I wanted to protest, but she cut me off, collapsing onto the bed beside me. Friends help friends. No strings attached. Novel concept for you. I let the words sink in. No strings. No obligations. No scorekeeping. 3 weeks of withheld tears threatened to spill. I made you an appointment too, she added, sliding a card onto my laptop. Dr. Ella Levine, PhD, Family Therapy. I'm not crazy, I whispered. No, Monica said gently. But you've been carrying something heavy for a long time. It might help to set it down somewhere safe. The concept of release felt both terrifying and relieving. Tuesday afternoon, Dr. Levine's office smelled of lemon polish and old books. She wore reading glasses on a beaded chain and shoes that made no sound on the carpet. She didn't rush to fill silences, letting me struggle with words I'd never spoken aloud: favoritism, neglect, invisibility. For the first time, I felt the weight shift, just a little, onto someone else's capable shoulders. I finally said the word hanging between us like a newly discovered planet. Favoritism. Dr. Ella Levine didn't flinch. And how did that make you feel? She asked softly. Like I was worth exactly $2, I answered. The truth landed heavy and freeing. Later that week, Andrea showed me a small apartment. 650 square feet. A kitchenette barely wide enough for a fridge. But west-facing windows spilled sunlight across the hardwood floors. By nightfall, it was mine. I bought a futon, a lamp, a desk. Nothing else. The emptiness felt intentional, space to become someone new. The next Saturday, Monica dragged me to a community center. Pottery class, she announced. I complained until my hands sank into cool clay, yielding and resisting at once. The instructor, silver-haired and paint-splattered, whispered from behind me, "Don't force it. Listen to what it wants to be." By the end, I held a small bowl with uneven edges, hideous, beautiful, entirely mine. I smiled at the thought, creation without permission. 4 weeks after Christmas, the first video call came. I answered on the third ring, bracing myself. "Where have you been?" Richard demanded, face flushed with indignation. "Your mother's been worried sick." Behind him, Evelyn dabbed theatrically dry eyes. I felt the old guilt rise, then settle. I didn't apologize. I watched. I listened. And for the first time, I planned my response. "San Francisco," I said calmly. Evelyn rushed into frame, her voice sharp with disbelief. "You transferred without discussing it with us first? How could you be so inconsiderate?" The old reflex clawed at my chest, apologize, smooth it over, make it right. But Dr. Ella Levine's voice cut through the noise. "Your feelings are valid." "I needed space," I said instead. Richard barked back, demanding space from what? Family, responsibility, adulthood. "From feeling invisible," I replied, my voice steadier than I felt. "From being valued less than Madeline. From trying to earn love that should have been free." Evelyn's tears appeared instantly, perfectly timed. "How can you say something so cruel? We've always loved you both the same." The words I'd carried for years finally fell free. "I'm not responsible for your feelings anymore. I'm responsible for mine." Richard slammed his hand on the table. "This conversation is over until you're ready to apologize." I didn't flinch. "Then we're done talking." I ended the call before they could take it back. The fallout arrived quietly. LinkedIn messages. Texts from former coworkers. According to family lore, I'd had a breakdown, was living in squalor, maybe worse. Madeline's Instagram filled with soft-focused concern and vague captions about family heartbreak and prayers for mental health. I watched it all without responding. Let them rewrite the story. I finally knew the truth, and I wasn't giving it back. My new coworkers know nothing of the story my family tells themselves. They see only the work I produce, the precision of my calculations, the creativity in my designs. 10 days later, Madeline shows up unannounced at reception. Monica happens to be dropping off lunch. She's in a meeting, Monica tells her coolly. And she'll remain in meetings indefinitely for uninvited visitors. No explanation, no apology needed, just boundaries. Wednesday nights, my therapy group meets in a church basement smelling of coffee and old hymnals. 8 strangers, each bearing wounds too familiar. Family doesn't get a pass just because they're family, says Raymond, a 60-year-old accountant estranged from his brother for 20 years. Love without respect isn't love. It's possession. The words land in my chest and stay there, solid, undeniable. 6 months after Christmas, my apartment reflects the life I've built. Pottery lines the windowsills, each piece more refined than the last. A proper bed has replaced the futon. My promotion to senior project manager erased lingering financial anxiety. On my bookshelf sits the plastic piggy bank, filled with crisp $2 bills, one for every week of freedom. The first holiday season arrives with relief and quiet triumph. No performances, no unearned guilt, no diminishment. I am here, fully, and finally mine. Just me, in a space I built, becoming someone I'm finally learning to value. Worth far more than $2. A month later, the ivory envelope sits on my kitchen counter like a landmine, 3 days untouched. Cousin Vanessa's wedding invitation. My name in swooping calligraphy. Iris Collins. No +1. Just me. Expected to return to the fold alone. So, what are you thinking? Dr. Winters asks, chair creaking as she leans forward. I trace the armrest, counting the brass tacks silently. I'm going, I say. Her eyebrows lift. On my terms, I add, quick and firm. I've booked a room at the Hilton 4 blocks from the venue. Richard called twice, insisting I stay at their rental house. I said nothing. Let his voicemail fill with desperation. Boundaries are the message. 7 months after Christmas, I've rebuilt myself, therapy, pottery, quiet nights alone. When my phone buzzed during a session, Madeline's name flashed, third text that day. Can't wait to see you next weekend. Sister time before the wedding madness. I slid the phone back into my purse, unread. My choices, my freedom, my rules. Dr. Winters notices it immediately. Your sister again, she says. Suddenly you're best friends. I laugh, but it sounds empty. Madeline never texted like this when we lived in the same city. What do you think she wants? Dr. Winters asks. I don't hesitate. A ride. Money. Access. The old version of me who carried her emotional baggage along with her suitcase. I run my fingers over the fabric swatch on my lap, midnight blue silk for the dress I commissioned. 3 fittings. No apologies. The color of power, not peace. They've enlisted flying monkeys, I say. Uncle Pete called about family loyalty. Aunt Judith emailed about divine forgiveness. Even Vanessa's fiancé messaged me. Coordinated. Strategic. And how does that make you feel? Before therapy, I would have said fine. Now I tell the truth. Tight throat. Cold sweat. A tremor in my fingers. Terrified, I admit. Then, quieter, but ready. That night, I spread the seating chart from an accidental group email across my table. There I am as between Richard and Evelyn, directly across from Madeline. The perfect family portrait. I pick up my phone, steady. Vanessa, it's Iris. I have a small request about the seating. My voice doesn't shake. This time, I choose where I sit. Friday arrived, San Francisco fog clinging to the city as my plane lifted into the clouds. Somewhere over Oregon, the sky parted, revealing the patchwork of my childhood. My heartbeat sped as we began descending into Portland. The rehearsal dinner venue glowed golden against the twilight. On the sidewalk, I touched the smooth stone pendant Monica had given me before I left. Strength isn't about not feeling fear, she had said. It's feeling it and walking forward anyway. I squared my shoulders and pushed open the heavy wooden door. Conversations froze. Heads turned. Evelyn's hand flew to her throat. Richard's drink paused midair. The Iris who fled at Christmas no longer existed. This woman in tailored black pants, an emerald silk blouse, and heels that marked each step with authority was present, solid. Diamond studs in my ears caught the light as I scanned the room, nodding at familiar faces without rushing to anyone. Madeline approached first, arms outstretched, but something was different. No designer watch. Highlights grown out. Her smile forced. You look amazing, she said, hugging me briefly. Thank you, I replied, stepping back deliberately. How's the BMW treating you? Her eyes flickered away. Had to trade it in. Got a Honda. More practical, you know. I let the words settle. The power had shifted quietly, irrevocably. Beyond Madeline's shoulder, I spot Evelyn and Richard huddled with Aunt Martha. Evelyn dabs at her eyes with a cocktail napkin. Richard's shoulders slump forward in a posture I've never seen. Cousin Tara appears at my elbow, vodka tonic in hand. God, I'm glad you're here, she whispers. You wouldn't believe the drama since Christmas. Oh, your parents are selling the house. Medical bills, they say, but everyone knows they've been floating Madeline for years. Reality finally caught up. Before I can respond, a waiter passes with champagne. I take a glass, watching bubbles rise and burst. Just like the family stories, what rises eventually pops. Uncle Simon clasps my free hand. You're looking well, Iris. That job in San Francisco must suit you. Senior project manager now, I say, the words still tasting new. His eyes widen. No kidding. That's wonderful. More relatives orbit me throughout the evening. Cousin Michael confesses he always noticed the difference in treatment. Aunt Martha hugs me too tightly, whispering, "Your father lost his job 3 months ago. Your mother's on anxiety meds." I absorb it all with the detachment of someone watching waves break from higher ground. Richard cornered me during cocktail hour, bourbon heavy on his breath. Family sticks together, Iris. The authority was familiar, but hollow now. No matter what? I asked calmly. Or only when it's convenient? His jaw tightened. We've always supported you. I didn't raise my voice. $2. In a piggy bank. The words landed cleanly. He opened his mouth, then closed it, and walked away without another word. In the ladies' room, Evelyn appeared beside me, eyes glassy. "We miss you so much," she said, reaching for my hand. I kept washing mine, soap slick between my fingers. "I miss who I thought you were too," I replied, meeting her reflection instead of her gaze. The mirror showed 2 women standing inches apart, separated by decades of silence. On the terrace, Madeline pulled me aside, roses perfuming the cool air. "The BMW got repossessed," she blurted. "I'm drowning in debt. Clients vanished. Dad can't help anymore." Her voice cracked. "I don't know how to do this, Iris. I never learned how to stand on my own. 7 months ago, I would have fixed everything." Instead, I rested my hand lightly on her arm and waited, choosing myself before choosing anyone else. "That sounds really hard, Madeline," I said, feeling compassion without responsibility, a lesson therapy had drilled into me for months. Her eyes widened slightly. "Compassion without rescue. I'm sorry you're going through this." I added, "I can help you make a budget, but I can't fix this for you." Over her shoulder, Vanessa glowed in her pre-wedding bustle, bridesmaids orbiting her like satellites. Tomorrow would bring its own challenges. But tonight, standing on the terrace, the weight of family expectations slid off me like water. I was no longer afraid. I was the woman who had walked away from a lifetime of diminishment, who had built a life from the foundation up. Whatever came next, I would face it on the ground I had claimed as my own. The next morning, I stood in Vanessa's bridal suite at Magnolia Gardens, watching her transform from nervous bride to radiant woman. Sunlight poured through tall windows, casting everything in golden warmth that belied the storm in my chest. "Iris, your parents are looking for you," Aunt Martha whispered, fingers gentle on my forearm. "They're in the library. Said it's important." I nodded, unshaken. 7 months since I left Portland with nothing but a note and a lifetime of resentment. "Thanks, Martha," I said quietly, ready. My voice comes out steadier than I feel. "I'll find them after I help Vanessa with her veil." Martha's eyes soften. "They mentioned a family emergency before the ceremony." Of course they did. 30 minutes later, the library door feels impossibly heavy as I push it open. Evelyn sits ramrod straight in a high-backed chair, tissues clenched. Richard paces by the fireplace, sharp, contained. Madeline stands by the window, dressed in something that cost more than my first month's rent, the repossessed BMW absent. "Iris, thank God," Evelyn says, rising, arms outstretched. "We need to talk as a family." I remain in the doorway. The ceremony starts in 40 minutes. "Sit down, Iris," Richard gestures toward the empty chair facing them. A staged intervention. I close the door behind me, but I don't move. I'm listening. "Iris, this has gone far enough," Madeline begins. "Dad lost his job 3 months ago. Company downsized." Richard interjects. "Budget cuts." Evelyn adds, "I've been seeing a therapist for depression." Madeline continues, "This all started when you left at Christmas. We're selling the house." The perfect trifecta: financial crisis, health concerns, and guilt, wrapped into one neat, suffocating package. 7 months ago, I would have crumpled under their expectations, apologized for wrongs I didn't commit, and offered help I didn't owe. Today, I walk to the chair, place my purse beside me, and sit tall. I'm sorry to hear about your job, Dad. And Mom, I'm glad you're getting help. Their faces register confusion at my calmness. Didn't you hear what we said? Madeline's voice rises. They're selling the house because of you. I shake my head. No. They're selling the house because of choices they made long before I left. I remove a leather-bound photo album from my purse. I brought something to show you. Evelyn frowns. We don't have time for this meeting. I open the album across my lap. So, we have time. The first page shows 2 birthday parties side by side, Madeline's extravagant princess party with hired entertainers, my own kitchen table celebration with a grocery store cake. I flip through Christmas mornings, graduations, and vacations where favoritism is undeniable. Months of evidence compiled. Richard flushes. This is ridiculous. We always treated you equally. I pull out a folder of bank statements. My student loans, $67,000 and counting. Madeline's education fully funded, including her year in Europe. Madeline shifts, uneasy. That's not fair. You chose engineering. That was your decision. I correct her, calm but firm. Just like art was yours. The difference is my passion wasn't considered worth investing in. Evelyn rises, hands trembling. We didn't have the money when you went to college. Things were different by the time, Chelsea. I learned everything about your financial records years ago, Mom, I interrupt. Dad's promotion came when I was 16. Grandma's inheritance arrived before my freshman year. You had the money. You chose not to spend it on me. The room falls silent as I lay out 30 years of birthday cards. Madeline's overflow with affection. Mine contain practical advice, reminders to work hard. We always knew you'd be fine, Richard finally says, defensiveness cracking. There it is, the truth behind decades of disparity. Being capable didn't mean I deserved less love. Being responsible didn't mean carrying everyone else's burdens. Evelyn collapses into genuine, unmanipulated tears. We never meant to hurt you. Intent doesn't erase impact. I reach into my purse one last time. The plastic piggy bank lands on the coffee table with a hollow thump. Richard stares. What is this nonsense? I remove the rubber stopper. The contents will speak louder than words ever could. Dozens of crisp $2 bills spill onto the table, catching the light. I've saved one for every week since Christmas. This isn't about money, I explain. It's about what you thought I was worth. Madeline picks one up, turning it over in her manicured fingers. Her voice is softer now. I never realized how it looked from your side. They never taught me to stand on my own. Outside the library, relatives pass, voices drifting through the heavy door. In minutes, they'll gather to celebrate love while our family finally confronts decades of absence. I don't want apologies, I say, standing. I want change. Reconciliation only if there's therapy and respect for my boundaries. Richard opens his mouth to argue, but Evelyn places a hand on his arm. We'll do it, she says, calm and firm. Whatever it takes. I gather my evidence and the piggy bank, leaving the bills on the table. That's theirs to keep, a reminder of what happens when one child is valued over another. I pause at the door, hand on the knob. Monica is saving my seat for the ceremony. Heart lighter than it's been in months, back straight, I step into the hallway. I hear Madeline whisper to our parents, she's different now. She's right. I am. The woman who walked out that Christmas morning carrying only grief and determination no longer exists. In her place stands someone who finally understands that her worth isn't measured by what others decide to give, but by what she refuses to accept. This Christmas, sunlight spills across the hardwood floors of my San Francisco apartment, warming a space that is entirely mine. Friends gather around the table, my table, chosen and bought by me. The scent of rosemary and sage from the roasting turkey mixes with real laughter, not the forced kind that echoed through my parents' house. To Iris, says Monica, raising her glass, her dark curls catching the light from the window. The woman who builds bridges better than anyone, at work and in life. My cheeks flush, but I accept the praise without deflecting. A year ago, I left a house key on a counter and drove away from everything familiar. Now I'm surrounded by pottery pieces I've shaped with my own hands, friends who chose to be here around the table, and a life built with intention. Elliot brushes his fingers against mine under the table, steady, certain. Not fleeting infatuation, but a steady current of something growing toward permanence. He understands deadlines and structural integrity, and he understands the value of solid relationships. I didn't lose a family. I outgrew one. And I finally built something better. When he first asked me to coffee 6 months ago, I almost declined. Old habits of self-sacrifice die hard. Dr. Winters called it progress when I said yes. The kitchen timer chimes, saving me from having to acknowledge their praise. Some changes take longer than others. Need help? Elliot asks, following me into the kitchen. I've got it, I reply automatically, then catch myself, remembering Dr. Winters' gentle challenge, accepting help doesn't diminish your strength. Actually, could you carve the turkey? I never learned how. My phone buzzes with a video call from Madeline, our monthly check-in, a boundary we set after the wedding confrontation. I answer while Elliot handles the carving. Merry Christmas, Madeline says, her face filling the screen. Her apartment behind her looks smaller than mine, no designer furniture, no luxury car outside. Working 2 jobs has given her a new perspective on money, along with shadows under her eyes. You look happy, she adds, voice softer than it used to be. Your place looks beautiful. It feels like home. I angle the camera to show my pottery studio, once formless clay now shaped into bowls and vases that line the shelves. How are Mom and Dad? I ask. Dad's 90 days sober today. He wanted me to tell you. She tilts the camera to reveal our father in a modest living room, looking smaller somehow. The AA meetings are helping. And for the first time in years, I realize we're all starting to learn something about responsibility, forgiveness, and real change. When he first asked me to coffee 6 months ago, I almost declined. Old habits of self-sacrifice die hard. Dr. Winters called it progress when I said yes. The kitchen timer chimes, saving me from having to acknowledge their praise. Some changes take longer than others. Need help? Elliot asks, following me into the kitchen. I've got it, I reply automatically, then catch myself, remembering Dr. Winters' gentle challenge, accepting help doesn't diminish your strength. Actually, could you carve the turkey? I never learned how. My phone buzzes with a video call from Madeline, our monthly check-in, a boundary we set after the wedding confrontation. I answer while Elliot handles the carving. Merry Christmas, Madeline says, her face filling the screen. Her apartment behind her looks smaller than mine, no designer furniture, no luxury car outside. Working 2 jobs has given her a new perspective on money, along with shadows under her eyes. You look happy, she adds, voice softer than it used to be. Your place looks beautiful. It feels like home. I angle the camera to show my pottery studio, once formless clay now shaped into bowls and vases that line the shelves. How are Mom and Dad? I ask. Dad's 90 days sober today. He wanted me to tell you. She tilts the camera to reveal our father in a modest living room, looking smaller somehow. The AA meetings are helping. And for the first time in years, I realize we're all starting to learn something about responsibility, forgiveness, and real change. He's different when he's not drinking. I nod, not ready to fully process that revelation. And Mom, still volunteering at the community center. She wanted to come to the call but had an emergency food drive. Madeline pauses. They ask about you. Not in the old way, though. We talked for a few more minutes before saying goodbye. The wall clock shows it's time for dinner. Around my table, conversation flows between Monica, Elliot, and friends from my engineering firm and pottery class. No one mentions the piggy bank displayed on my mantle, now filled with dollar bills representing lessons rather than resentment. After dessert, Madeline texts a photo of a handmade clay ornament, clearly her first attempt at pottery. Not pretty, but made with love. Mailing it tomorrow. Then another message arrives from my mother. Found this in the attic while downsizing. It always belonged to you. The attachment shows my childhood dollhouse, the one thing I truly loved growing up. The deed transfer paperwork sits below it, officially making it mine. Later, when everyone has gone and Elliot helps with the last dishes, I step onto my balcony. San Francisco Bay stretches before me. Lights from the bridges reflecting on dark water. Buildings I helped design stand in silhouette against the night sky. Worth isn't something you earn through usefulness, I whisper to the city lights. It's not given, it's claimed, I whisper, pulling the blanket tighter around my shoulders as Elliot stands beside me, steady and warm against the December chill. By knowing exactly what you will and won't accept. I lean into his warmth, letting the moment sink in. Sometimes the greatest gift isn't under the tree, it's the courage to finally honor yourself. The piggy bank gleams in the window, no longer a reminder of what I lacked, but a testament to what I refused to settle for. If this story of strength, boundaries, and self-worth moved you, hit like, leave a comment sharing your own triumphs, and subscribe for more tales of clever, unforgettable revenge and personal empowerment. Don't miss the next chapter.